Texas, win and get in for the Cowboys. That's got to be the mantra going forward. If they win their final 2 games of the year, Dallas will win the NFC East for the first time since 2009. And the first of those 2 games this Sunday in D.C. against the Washington Redskins. Here's head coach Jason Garrett on trying to move past what happened against the Packers.
You have to move on from the last game. Whether you win a big game or you lose a tough game, you just have to get back to work. You've heard me talk a lot about a 24-hour rule, and we believe in it. And we believe in it because you have to get your eyes forward in this league, and you have to learn from what happened in the last game, win or lose, and get ready for the next challenge.
We have to play really, really good football right now, and we understand that. And there's just not a lot of room for error to win these football games. And the National Football League is always going to be tough, and we just have to play a better game all the way around.
All right, for more on the game in D.C., let's bring in ESPN.com NFL Nation Cowboys reporter Todd Archer. Todd, we heard Tony Romo there. What else is he saying about how this team is trying to move past what had to be a crushing loss to Green Bay?
I think a lot of it is looking at how they've responded to crushing losses earlier in the season. They lose to Denver 51-48. They come back the next week and beat these Redskins 31-16. They lose in the last play of the game to the Detroit Lions. They come back the next week and they beat the Minnesota Vikings with a 90-yard drive in the final minute. The team has shown resiliency this year. The problem is this team's history. They've not shown the resiliency late in seasons. You can go back the last 2 years. They've had Week 17 NFC East title games, and they've lost them both. Tony Romo said that doesn't matter. This is a new team, a different defense for sure, because everybody's hurt. We'll see if it makes a difference on Sunday when they get to FedEx Field.
Yeah, I guess, Todd, the good news is, hey, we've done this before, come back from a crushing defeat. The bad news would be we've had to do this before, come back from yet another crushing defeat. As for the defense, everybody focuses on Tony Romo, and they didn't run the ball enough, but this is a defense that gave up 5 second-half touchdowns against Green Bay. First time that had happened since 2004. How has the ineffectiveness of this defense impacted how the offense is playing?
Well, I think you saw that on the 2nd and 6 call in the fourth quarter where they check out of a run and move to a pass, and the pass is intercepted. They simply don't trust their defense, and I don't know how they would. DeMarcus Ware is not DeMarcus Ware right now. Jason Hatcher's also banged up. Sean Lee likely to miss his 2nd straight game with a neck injury. You'll have Bruce Carter back, but he's been ineffective. The secondary's been ineffective. Brandon Carter does not practice today. He'll be back for the game, but again, he has struggled. You have an offense that really has to carry the day, and even if they score 30 points, that might not be enough.
Carry the day. Just carry the ball. Give the ball to DeMarco Murray. Maybe it'll solve all the problems. Todd Archer, we appreciate it. Thanks very much. The Eagles and Cowboys do control their own destinies, if you believe destiny is something that can be controlled. A Philly win and a Dallas loss on Sunday puts the Eagles into the playoffs for the first time in 3 years. The Cowboys need to take care of business against the Redskins before they can look ahead to what could be a winner-take-all Week 17 matchup at Jerry World between Philadelphia and the Cowboys. Of course, if the Eagles win and the Cowboys lose, then it doesn't matter at all because the division will have already been decided. Cowboys, the last 2 years, have been 8-6 with the last 2 weeks to play, lost the last 2 games, failed to make the postseason. So at least they've shaken it up. They're 7-7 right now going into the last 2 games. But listen, this is an Eagles team that had everything on the line last week against an inferior opponent in Minnesota without Adrian Peterson, and they got shredded. They gave up 48 points. You can't put a lot of faith in them either, but if you had to pick one team that you trusted more over these final 2 weeks, who would it be?
I'd pick the Eagles. And I think the biggest problem for me is the Dallas Cowboys. I admit it. It's that guy's fault over there. So I mean, they've got that finger pointing going on right now. So I would have to go Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to Eagles as well. Listen, the defenses, both defenses are a wash. I trust the Eagles brand of offense better.
Man, this hurts me. This pains me to say this.
Get ready. Go ahead. Get ready. Here it comes.
I'm going to say the Eagles also, simply because of the play of Nick Foles being consistent, only 23 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and Shady McCoy. Shady McCoy is a difference maker for the Eagles right now, and he's going against the Bears team this week. He's going to have some big numbers.
I'm so disappointed.
He won't get invited back in the state. That's a problem. It's interesting, though, because all the Cowboy fans say just give it to DeMarco Murray more and maybe we won't have these problems. Eagle fans are saying, how come Shady didn't touch the ball enough in that game against Minnesota? So maybe both of these offenses need to feature the running game a little bit more down the stretch.